What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here. In this one, we go over Michigan losing a junior wide receiver as he is no longer with the Michigan football program. Plus, go over some injury updates on the offensive line on Giovanni El-Hadi, Brady Norton in the Michigan secondary, if we'll see them back against Wisconsin. We also go over the Wolverines set to host multiple top-rated recruits in the 2027 class, as well as a 5-star in the 2028 class, and some top priority flip targets this weekend, plus a new potential flip target on the offensive line for the Wolverines. And we talk a little bit about Michigan basketball set to retire Trey Burke's jersey, and also Dusty May putting together an elite 2026 recruiting class. It's all going to be in this video and more, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so to start this video, I did want to go over some big news here. Not great news for the Wolverines, as wide receiver Frederick Moore no longer with the Michigan football program. As the news came out Thursday afternoon, Wolverines wires, Isaiah Hull was first to report the news, as Frederick Moore, the junior wide receiver, no longer listed on the team's roster. Frederick Moore played in 30 games in his career with 3 starts at wide receiver, logged only 18 snaps at wide receiver this season. He does preserve his redshirt season by leaving now. Will have 2 seasons of eligibility remaining, so best of luck to him. Obviously sucks to lose a wide receiver that, just adds competition to the room, but obviously he was a projected starter early in the offseason before Channing Goodwin took his starting spot, and he just really didn't get much playing time. Sherrod Moore offered up earlier this week that, he said there's 2 guys really in the receiver room that have been stepping up, and it's Andrew Marsh, Jamar Browder, 2 freshmen in the room. He said those guys really stood out and made some plays. So maybe even, a guy like Andrew Marsh kind of went above Frederick Moore in the depth chart in the wide receiver room. But Sherrod Moore did say there's always competition, so we're going to continue the competition through the week, see who the starters are by the end of the week. Obviously, Michigan has been starting Donovan McCulley, Samaj Morgan, and Channing Goodwin. We'll see if there's any change, and we'll also see if Andrew Marsh and Jamar Browder, those 2 freshmen, get some more playing time. I definitely think we'll see more of Andrew Marsh here, but let me know what you guys think about that. Frederick Moore no longer with the Michigan football team. And then I also wanted to talk about some injury updates on the offensive line. Left guard Giovanni El-Hadi has obviously been out since the Oklahoma game where he suffered that injury, and according to Chris Ballas of On3 and the Wolverine, he remains quite questionable, and we most likely won't be seeing him until the USC game, as it seems like Michigan might be leaning toward 1 more week of rest to get him ready for that big matchup on the road against USC. And then also, the offensive line has been playing good. You got guys like Nathan Afobe, Jake Guarnera, who have stepped up. Now, as far as Brady Norton, we could see him back out there. He was even close to playing against Nebraska, and with 2 weeks rest now here leading up to this Wisconsin game, we could see him back out there. But all in all, it's going to be a big test for this offensive line against Wisconsin, who has the #1 rushing defense, which we talked about in yesterday's video. If you guys missed it, make sure to go ahead and check it out. We previewed this Wisconsin team going up against Michigan, what to expect on both sides of the ball, and the keys to the game for the Wolverines. It's going to be a big test for this offensive line, and we're going to really find out what they are all about. They made a lot of progress since that Oklahoma game, obviously. Oklahoma has one of the best defensive lines and defenses in college football, and while Central Michigan, Nebraska aren't really near that level that Oklahoma is defensively and on the defensive line, Wisconsin's defensive line is. So, we're going to really see what this offensive line is all about. It's a great test for them, especially leading up to that game, that road game against USC. But the offensive line has been a huge priority for this coaching staff. Juan Castillo, Grant Newsome, they are all involved, including head coach Sherrod Moore getting hands-on with them as well. So big game for the offensive line tomorrow against Wisconsin's defense and defensive line. Also excited to watch this Michigan defense. They should be dominant in this one, I think. We'll also see if Zeke Berry is back out there for the Wolverines. Also, Caleb Anderson. Sherrod Moore said earlier this week that I think we'll get Zeke back. Big chance we'll get Caleb Anderson back too. But, if they're not out there, hopefully we'll for sure see them against USC. Michigan needs that depth in the secondary, and during the bye week and throughout these 2 weeks, one of the biggest priorities was getting healthy, and it came at a perfect time. Michigan had a lot of injuries, especially on the offensive line and in the secondary. All right, so Michigan is back in action this weekend against Wisconsin. And we got some great college football games this weekend. As always, if you guys aren't using the Sleeper app for daily fantasy football, you are missing out. This weekend, I am taking Bryce Underwood to pass for more than 1.5 passing touchdowns. And I'm also picking Darian Dupree to have no anytime touchdowns in this game against Michigan's defense. And as always, you can make tons of picks like this. And right now, it's a great time to get started with Sleeper because they are offering a free $20 entry, no deposit required. Plus, first-time users still also receive a 100% deposit match up to $100 using promo code MST. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. So if you guys want to check out Sleeper today, go ahead, check them out, link down below in the description. But Michigan is also hosting a lot of talented recruits here this weekend for their maize out game against Wisconsin. They obviously got the two big linebacker flip targets, Nick Abrams, the Georgia commit, and then Braylon Hodge, the Michigan State commit. They will both be on campus for a visit. Braylon Hodge's visit is an official visit, so he will be there throughout the whole weekend. And three-star linebacker Caden Ketchings, the Liberty commit, also is visiting. And then a big one is the top 100 wide receiver Dakota Grant. He will be on campus, comes from Harper Woods, Michigan, big target in the 2027 class and at the wide receiver position. Michigan also set to host 4-star tight end Anthony Cartwright and 4-star edge Carter Kitchen, both in-state recruits as well, along with many others in the 2027 class. Also, the Wolverines are hosting the son of former Michigan legend Charles Woodson. That is right, Charles Woodson Jr., the 2027 4-star defensive back, one that the Wolverines should no doubt land. And the Wolverines recently got an on-3 prediction in their favor to land him from Steve Wiltfong a couple of days ago. And then a recently new one, 2028 5-star edge Cameron McGee from Brother Rice High School in the state of Illinois will be on campus for a visit as well. That is another big one in the 2028 class. And Michigan's also set to have some of their top committed players in the 2026 class as well, headlined by 5-star running back Savion Hyder, 4-star wide receiver Travis Johnson, 4-star defensive lineman Alistair Vallejo, Titan Davis, Andre Clark, and many others. So Michigan hosting many top targets and some commits as well. They also wanted to talk about another potential flip target on the offensive line, as the Wolverines recently offered the 2026 4-star Duke interior offensive lineman Sean Stover from the state of Texas, as the Wolverines looking to add one or two more offensive linemen in the class. That's another potential flip target right there. And then also some big basketball news here for the Wolverines, as Michigan officially will be retiring Trey Burke's number 3 jersey in the Chrysler Center rafters January 23rd versus Ohio State. The former Michigan legend and 2013 National Player of the Year obviously led Michigan to that magical national championship run, to the national championship game. So that'll be very cool, and obviously much deserved for Trey Burke, one of the best point guards to do it at Michigan. And speaking about the Michigan basketball program, how about Dusty May building up this 2026 basketball recruiting class? The Wolverines currently rank 3rd nationally. They have 4 commitments, including a new one from Joseph Hartman, a 4-star top 100 shooting guard from the state of Florida. Along with him, they also have the 4-star top 100 power forward Quinn Costello, also the 3-star small forward Malachi Brown, and the 7-3 center Marcus Mahler. Dusty May putting together a nice 2026 recruiting class. He's got things rolling for the basketball program, and they're going to be very fun to watch this upcoming season. But it is still football season. The Wolverines, Sherrone Moore, look to continue their momentum following the road win at Nebraska, as it is a maize out tomorrow, noon kickoff against Wisconsin. But with that, that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more if you are new around here. I greatly appreciate it. And other than that, we will see you guys in the next video. Go Blue.